This is Speaking with the Enemy on the Ticats Audio Network. Here is Louie Butko.
Yes, it is Speaking with the Enemy, presented by Red Tag. Get sun-kissed in paradise with redtag.ca. Spend your day under the sun and swimming in the deep blue sea with incredible vacation deals on last-minute getaways and more. Book your dream vacation today at redtag.ca. The enemy this week, the Toronto Argonauts, which means I get to speak with my friend Natey Adjei. And Natey, I'm not going to lie, I feel like we just did this. The third of 4 games, 3 games in 4 weeks against the Argos. One more next week. I mean, we just did this, didn't we?
Yeah, I'm starting to get tired of the Ticats. You know what happens in training camp when you see the same opponent over and over again, and then by the middle part of training camp there starts to be fights. I feel like I'm about to start fighting you, Louie B. We've seen each other so much. No, it's all jokes, but no, it's it is what it is, right? Argos Ticats. Every year it seems like. I know last year we faced you guys 5 times. This year it's going to be 4, and who knows what's going to happen in the playoffs. But it's a familiar opponent, and if there's one team in the CFL that Toronto Argonauts fans want to beat a lot and have the opportunity to beat a lot, it is the Ticats. So we welcome the challenge.
Well, listen, there were a lot of people, and I'm going to raise my hand in this, who looked at the schedule, who saw 4 games in 5 weeks and thought, come on, really? Against the same team? But I'm going to preface this with saying these are 2 of the biggest games I think the Ticats have played at this point of the season in a long time. And I feel like the Argos can make the same point. They can really create some separation, or the Ticats are going to make this division a lot more interesting.
No, absolutely. And, we always talk about the season never gets started till Labor Day, but these games against the Ticats, I mean, it's gonna decide a lot when it comes to playoff seeding and end of season type stuff, scenarios and stuff. So, no, these are massive games, and they're already massive games before you talk about standings and first place and things in the East Division. But when you add in the factor of, these are the teams that are vying for playoff spots, right? It's Toronto, it's Montreal, it's Hamilton. And I think Ottawa's probably out of it at this point. So these games mean that much more, and to play them against each other, it's massive, because you can really put some distance between yourself and the competition, especially playing the East Division teams, right? And obviously when it comes to the end of the season, you're playing teams that are in the West. I mean, you need other things to happen, but now you have sort of the your destiny in your own hands, right? You can take advantage of the situation just by beating Hamilton, or if you lose to them, you put yourself in a massive hole.
Yeah, and the Ticats are going at this game like it's just the next one on the schedule. I'm sure the Argos are as well, but both teams coming off losses in pretty similar fashions, in which they played, great in the first half, and then the second half, things didn't seem to work. The Argos, how motivated are they after last week's offensive? I don't know what to call it. They were missing in the second half. How important is this game for the Argos, considering what happened last week?
Oh, it's extremely important, but it's almost been the last couple weeks, because it was a similar type of breakdown in the second halves in the last Ticat game, and then it continued to the Calgary game last week. But it's so interesting with the Argos, because all season long they've been slow starters, right? And the last couple of weeks, you go into the Hamilton game, they start fast, they have a lead at halftime. You're like, okay, maybe this team has turned it around, and then completely disappear in the second half. And it was the same thing with Calgary. You're like, okay, they're gonna come out fast. I mean, the Argos are minus 35 in the first quarters, right? Slow starters. But the last 2 games, they've started fast and been ahead after halftime, and then completely disappear after in the second half. And you're wondering, what's going on with this team? And right now, this team is really motivated, but the big issue I see is, not enough big plays, not enough explosive plays, like not enough plays downfield that make it easy to score, right? Because, we all know the Argos have red zone woes, but they make it really hard, because they're going down the field, like one first down at a time, and they're missing that big play that make these scoring drives a little bit easier. So they're really motivated. It's the Ticats, so they're always motivated, but they're like the Ticats, they are taking it one game at a time, and they need this one in the worst way.
I was pretty shocked when I saw the depth chart for the Ticats yesterday, and was just going through the list of guys who are on the 6-game injured list: Deontay Evans, Simone Lawrence. You really go down. There's a lot of, obviously Chris Van Zyle's been on there a lot, and then I saw the Argos 6-game injured list, and the Hamilton Spectators Steve Milton pointed it out: 26 players between the two teams on the 6-game injured list. Natey, you're a player. Have you ever seen anything like this?
No, I don't remember the last time I saw this many guys on an injury list. And it really started for the Argos from training camp. I mean, they had, I believe it was by the first preseason game, they had 15 guys on injured lists. And it was like, wait, what? Did we just started? What's going on? But, between the two teams, injuries are name of the game. They always talk about next man up. And that's why, the organizational philosophy is always building depth, right? You could never have enough good players because it's football, right? You're not out there playing badminton, right? So the injuries are going to happen, and you have to have a culture in place. I think Hamilton's done a good job of that in the last few years, having a culture in place where when the next guy steps up, they know what's expected of them, right? The standard is what it is. I think Coach O has done a good job of that. Toronto's still building that, but I thought this obviously did a good job of bringing in, veteran players with a lot of playoff experience, guys from Calgary, continuing the theme from the last couple of years and continuing to build that depth so that, week in and week out, it's not a major drop off from who's in the lineup and who's out. So, and there's enough veteran leadership on both sides that injuries shouldn't really, it will affect. I mean, on the offensive line, you notice it way more, but I remember when Simone Lawrence missed a couple games this year, it wasn't a big drop off, right? You guys done a great job on that defense of having the standard set. And when guys are missing, it's just another game, and it's another opportunity for another guy to make a name for himself.
Yeah, Kyle Wilson's definitely stepped up. Has not been a huge drop point at that will linebacker spot. Speaking of the weak side, on your side of the football there, with the Argos, Ja'Gared Davis, 6-game injured list. I mean, he was a big free agent acquisition this past offseason for the Argos. I mean, he is going to be missed down the stretch. What's the plan at that spot, and who's ready to step up?
Right now, it's looking like it's going to be Robbie Smith. You remember him last game, got that tipped interception, and Robbie Smith is a guy. Robbie Smith is a guy that has been part of the Argos developmental program, right? He was drafted 3 years ago out of Wilfrid Laurier, and he's really made strides every single year. And it's been impressive to watch. I mean, our first year, he's kind of like a deer in headlights, not understanding what to do. And then last year, obviously you have the COVID year, but last year he really started to understand what offenses were doing. He talked about how, guys like Charleston Hughes, who was there, and Cordero Law, who was there, had a big impact on him, helping him understand the game. So he's ready for this moment. He's been ready. Every time he comes into the game, it's never a drop in production. And he's excited for his opportunity. I mean, his rookie year, he was kind of forced into a starting role his last few games, and now he's in a better position to take advantage of the opportunity ahead of him. So, that's the plan right now going forward. It gives Argos a little bit more flexibility with the ratio because he is Canadian, and missing a guy like Andrew Harris, it allows the Argos to do a little bit more ratio-wise. So, he's ready. Ja'Gared Davis, you can't ever replace a guy like that because I don't know if he knows Louie B, but he's one of the smartest football players, I've ever talked to, just understanding what, quarterbacks, offenses, and linemen are trying to do in the game. And situational football, I think he's one of the best in the league at that, right? We saw it a lot of times where, the game is on the line and who's making the plays, Ja'Gared Davis, because he understands the game at the highest level. So you're not going to replace that. And that might be an area where I will be concerned where, it's second and maybe medium, and it's in the fourth quarter, and it's a gotta have it stop. I might be concerned, but we still have guys like Enoch Nwamba, Winston McManus, Sean Oakman, Shane Ray, guys like that will be able to fill the void. But you can never replace a guy like Ja'Gared Davis. You know that from having him in Hamilton.
Yeah, you're right. Pappy White, by the way, is making his return to the lineup for the Ticats. His last game in Toronto, he had that big play. And that came to mind, his big punt return in the East final. That came to mind because I was thinking about all the plays that were made at BMO, and Ja'Gared Davis dropping back in coverage in the end zone obviously was a big one too. Natey, what are the Argos gonna do what are they going to luck into, I should say, if they happen to win this game? What's going to have to go right for them?
Yeah, I've been thinking about this a long time, and because I knew you'd probably ask me at some point. And what's funny, because these teams are so evenly matched, the game's going to be tight. For me, it's explosive plays. I know the last game, the big one that really turned the tide was the long touchdown pass from Schultz to Tim White, and that really turned the game. That turned the momentum. You saw the Hamilton sideline. It was like, okay, we're in this now. We can win this game after being so quiet for most of the game. So for Toronto, if they can have 3 or more plays over 30 yards, I feel like they'll have a great chance to win this game, because that is just the missing link. I know Brandon Branks was brought in from Hamilton to kind of provide that big play ability, and he's still trying to find it. He's at some moments, right? But we need the MOP Brandon Banks that you guys remember to really help us out in that respect. So 3 or more explosive plays, I feel like they'll give the Argos a great chance to win this game.
Real quick, who finishes the game at quarterback for the Argos this week?
Hot button topic. Honestly, if it's McLeod Bethel-Thompson is not turning the ball over and it's a close game, he'll probably finish it. Everybody loves the backup quarterback. The backup quarterback is always the most popular person on every team. And Louie, you know that very well, because you had Masoli, Evans, and going back and forth the last few years, and both equally good. But I don't know if Chad Kelly at this point is ready, and I don't know if he'll get the opportunity until there's an injury or McLeod Bethel-Thompson just goes off a deep end. So I'm expecting McLeod Bethel-Thompson to finish the game. If I'm wrong, don't blame me, but it's the CFL. Anything can happen.
I'm coming for you if you're wrong here. Last one here. The CNE is going on tonight. Everybody going down gets free admission into the CNE, which is always a super cool aspect of this. Are you a big CNE guy, Natey?
I was when I was younger, and my parents used to take me every single year when I was younger. But now being in the CFL, it was never. I went once my rookie year, and they had a Krispy Kreme burger. I tried that. I ate that. The next day we had practice. I was throwing up. Scott Malamage was looking at me like, what are you doing? Get your head out of your butt. We got a practice to have here. And then after that, I'm like, I'm never doing that again. So I haven't been since my rookie year in the CFL. I might be able to go back now, but because obviously I'm not playing. But yeah, I love the CD.
It's pretty cool with the lights and the rides and everything going on. I know Coach O joked about it, about the traffic being a bit of a pain in the neck getting in, but there is an atmosphere around the game, and as if this one needed any more fireworks, you got the lights and the sounds of the carnival going on around it. Natey, buddy, have a great call tonight. Enjoy the game. I won't see you tonight, but I will see you at the Labor Day Classic, and we might come to fisticuffs then, depending on how this one goes. Okay.
All right, buddy. Always looking forward to it, man. Thanks for having me on.
And my thanks to Natey Adjei for joining me on Speaking with the Enemy, presented by Red Tag. Get sun-kissed in paradise with redtag.ca. Spend your day under the sun and swimming in the deep blue sea with incredible vacation deals on last-minute getaways and more. Book your dream vacation today at redtag.ca. Ticats Argos, Friday night, 7:30 kickoff. Ticats Audio Network on the air starting at 6:30. Hope you'll join us then. From all of us here at the Ticats Audio Network, I'm Louie Butko, hoping you have a great day.